Righty, everybody. So, here's what we're going to do. We have a base of operations going, and we have a little bit of this going. One thing I did do is I went to the claim manager and I went ahead and force loaded all of these chunks. Let's go ahead and get all of these force loaded too. So they're going to be chunk loaded while we go and we run around through the different kinds of biomes. So I did a few things last time. So the one thing that I got is I got a Naga trophy, which means we would have had to gone to the Twilight. There's the portal. So I went to the Twilight, faced a Naga, easy peasy, lemon greasy. Let's go ahead and charge up our jetpack again, because this thing is always running out of stuff. There's a couple things that I want to go ahead and try to get working towards in this episode. The first one that I want to get working towards is a mob farm. We've delayed it long enough. It's actually time to start with a mob farm. An actual mob farm. Okay. Another thing, we got a good friend over here. This guy's name is Jeff. Everybody say hi to Jeff. Jeff's a cool guy. All right. Now, I got some more botany pots set up. The first thing I'm going to say is we've got all kinds of wheat now. If we can actually look in here at all of the wheat. Actually, I don't even think the wheat is up there. Now it is 246. We're going to be crafting that all into bread, naturally. And now we've got a little over 180 bread in there. A few things. If you've seen the thing in my inventory, it is a rotten egg. So, because we're in a snowy biome, we don't get a whole lot of animals spawning, and plus we don't have any like areas out there for spawning any kind of animal. So what I ended up doing is just going into the Twilight, finding a chicken, and creating a rotten egg. So rest in peace, the chicken. So one of the things that we are constantly running into, issue-wise, is the absolute lack of iron. And I want to try to fix that, but there's a few things that we have to do before we are able to actually get any kind of stable iron income. Now, for now, we'll just have to deal with the oh, I can't shift click that in there. That's unfortunate. So for now, we're just going to have to deal with the passive iron generation right there, just by sieving the gravel. And then there's also something I want to try to get, is I want to try to get some iron seeds. But in order to get the iron seeds, I'm going to need some Botania setups. Now, in order to get Botania, you need a few things, right? First thing you need is you need a bit of grass, which is why I kind of replaced the floor with a little bit of grass. That's not the only issue that I did. Oh, speaking of which, I did a couple things as well. So the first thing you can see is we're no longer connected up there. And what I've actually done is I have made some wireless power. I don't know why I took the long way around. Anyway, so I made a flux plug. Here's how to make it. You just get some redstone, put it on top of a piece of bedrock, and then left click an obsidian over top of it, and it'll create the flux stuff, and then yeah, all cool stuff. Now this is accepting the energy from the windmills up ahead, and this is our internal battery. Now the internal battery is also feeding into this flex plug, which is accepting Fe. Okay. Now that is also sending over to here. So this is the receiver port for the energy, and then that is powering our auto hammer and sieve, and that is really cool. That's the only kind of wireless power that we have so far. Checking over here, I've got a few of the basic kind of mystical agriculture seeds, and I actually went through the quests here. If we go down to mystical agriculture, I went through the normal stuff here. So what I did is I got dirt, stone, inferium, wood, ice, deep slate, fire, air, water, earth. I got all of that fun stuff. So that's all this is. So you got earth, air, water, fire, stone, dirt, wood, ice, and deep slate. Ice was a little bit interesting to get. What you basically had to do is just put snow in a bucket of water, and there you go. Oh, I said it like that, but yeah, it felt like it. So yeah, we got some generation going here. These are pretty slow, but that's fine. They're just going to be in the background building up over time, just like this is, along with our silicon. Now, silicon, we've actually got quite a bit of. See, in here you can see we've got 1.5k silicon, so nice stuff. And that is just built up over time. And now we've got like 1.9k or 8k, 1.8k. Now, let's go ahead and make a mob farm. There's a few things that I want to do. First thing I want to do is try to work towards Draconic Evolution. The other thing is make a mob farm, and then the other thing is to make an Iron Seed. So that's the top 3 things that I want to go ahead and start doing at the moment. For the first part, let's go ahead and get the mob farm. So the mob farm, what we're going to do is we're going to knock a hole in one of these walls. I'm thinking this wall here, which means we will have to, unfortunately, remove these. Now, before we get too invested into anything, let's go ahead and create a iron axe, because we're going to need to break these. Okay, so let's go ahead and replace all of what we broke over here. Now, there used to be a little bit of a bug with these botany pots, to where if you put something over top of them directly, then they still would not grow. But it does look like they are managing just fine. I don't know if I showed you or not, but I did get an iron jetpack. I can't remember exactly what I showed you. I've got so many videos just pre-recorded that I don't know exactly what I showed you and what I didn't show you. So, anywho, those are made. Let's make sure these are actually growing. They are. Beautiful. So we can actually stack setups like that and be totally fine. Now, as you just seen right there, we do take damage. Like that. And I'm kind of getting sick of that. So there is a little thing that we can make called free runners. Free runners from Mechanism, to be precise. And so they're pretty easy to make. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and create those. And these, well, actually, do we have the slime sling? Slime boots? Because we can make slime boots. No. The 3 runners will just basically give us immunity anyway. Let's get our energy. No, what's it called? Infuser? Yeah. Let's get our infuser going here. And we need. Let's see here. 2 to 1 osmium for the basic control circuit. Basic control circuit. That's the only 2 we need. So we need what? 4 redstone, 2 osmium. And then osmium. And we can just chuck that in there. Okay, and then after that we can start working on this. So the infused alloy is just 1 redstone, 1 iron. That converts directly into that. Looks like I forgot to get 2. So we can throw that in there. Let's find some math. So we had 2, 4, 6 of them, which means we need 6 pieces of redstone. And then we need 6 pieces of iron. And then we can just toss those in there, and then we can wait for those to get done. Then we can get ourselves some free runners. Free runners should give us some step assist, and it should also eliminate our fall damage altogether. I don't know if it actually does, but we're going to figure it out. I've just seen it used, and I don't know exactly what it does, honestly. Actually, we're missing gold. I am offended that we are missing gold. well, thankfully these furnaces are pretty quick. Alright, let's go ahead and get another one of these. And now we're just waiting on 2 right here, and then we can just do that, and now we have free runners. Okay, let's go ahead and charge our free runners. Free runners takes 250, or yeah, 250k, or 25k, what is it? 25.6k energy. It's probably just, yeah, whatever. We can just throw it on our feet. Okay, now, step assist. Let's turn off the thing. It does not give us any kind of jump boost, which is fine with me. Actually, let's go ahead and sort out the V key. Okay. The boots ability, don't care. So the engine, I do. Actually, we can probably just set that to comma. That's fine. So now if I press V, it doesn't open that junk. It still does turn on our magnet, but actually it doesn't. Interesting. Okay, so now let's test it. We fall. Beautiful. Then it should knock a little bit of, yeah. Awesome. Beautiful. Now we don't have any more fall damage, which is insanely nice. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. Okay. We're going to have to keep up with the energy inside of that thing, but other than, actually, we can see it down here. We can see our jetpack over here on the side, and then we can see our free runners down at the bottom there. Nice. Cool stuff. Alright. So, we got that taken care of. Mob farm time. So this is a 9x9. What we're going to be doing is we're just going to be knocking a hole to the snow, unfortunately. We'll just knock a hole in the snow, and then we're going to go out 9 blocks. Make it a clean 9x9. Now, this is going to be a fairly large mob farm in comparison to some of the other people's. So, this creates a 5x5 area of dreadful dirt. Now, you are able to spread that dreadful dirt with some good old-fashioned watering can action. So let's go ahead and get some cobble. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to see if we can do a little bit of a trick here. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. Now we're not going to be looking at this as an actual typical 9x9. We're going to go out 1 more. Okay, the reason why I'm wanting to go out 1 more, let's go ahead and get some of the other cobblestone that we have, that is the cut stuff. And we're going to make a doorway. Let's see. Okay, let's press H. Oh, H is the button that turns on the magnet. Okay, yeah, we're going to make some kind of barrier there. We'll turn that off. Okay, so now this should still be a 9x9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bam, 9. Okay, well, it doesn't go all the way up, which is fine. We're not going to be too critical about that. Do we want to actually do something like that and then make an actual doorway? I think we do. Yeah, that looks a bit better. And then let's also turn this on. And we can do something like that. And then that will lead directly to our mob farm. Okay, so the mob farm, it says it's going to be in a 5x5. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be auto killing everything in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here will be the dreadful dirt. I can actually go quite a bit larger than a 5x5 if I'm being completely honest. I could really do a 9x9, but we could probably get away with a 5x5. The thing about Dreadful Dirt is some bad stuff spawns with the Dreadful Dirt. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to try to cover all of the bases, I guess you could say. Oh my goodness, you absolutely jump scared me. Ah, what a guy, huh? Jeez. Yeah, such a nice guy jump scared me like that, eh? Okay. Uh, we need to think about the future of this thing. So let's go ahead and extend out another block on either side. We might want to move it back one too, honestly. Go out another. And then we can fill this side in. So we still have our 5x5. Yeah, okay. So we got a 5x5. There's some big mobs that spawn in this, so we actually might go out a couple more, honestly. Let's go out 2 more on each side. Okay, and then we can come back to... Okay, so now it's got 1, 2, 3, 4. It's got 5 away, which is 3, 4, 5. Okay, we're running out of cobble, which is fine. We should have 5 spaces on each side, honestly. That works. It's going to be a very large mob farm. Okay, we have the 5 layout here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start closing it up because I genuinely do not want that. Okay, so let's get our drawer full of cobble. Let's also get our cobble gen tier 3 out of here. Now, what we could do is we could put another thing on here, but that's not necessary really. We could probably do something like this. There we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and start closing it up. Now I am going to make this a full square. Just like that, and then we will start closing it up, okay? Let's hover. Okay. Now the reason I'm making it this tall is because, like I did say earlier, there's going to be some very large mobs that spawn in this. And what I don't want them to do is to be able to climb the walls. So I have a fix for that. And if you can figure out exactly what can climb walls, then congratulations, you figured out one of the crazy mobs that can spawn here. Now, we will have a lot of fans, which admittedly is going to take quite a bit of setup. So the rotten egg is not going to be needed for the time being. Now, although it does say it does cover a 5x5, we are going to have a on and off switch. So let's get a redstone link. Or what's it called? Redstone. I know it if I see it. It's been a minute since I've used the mod itself, so I don't quite remember what it's called. It might be that, honestly. No, I'd know it if I seen it. Excuse me. Let's see here. Let's see here. Nothing in that row. This kind of looks like it. No, that's not it. Well. Worst comes to worst, we could just have a trap door or a door. We could go outside and turn it off if we ever want to. So let's go ahead and put that there. Let's grab a stack of cobble. Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to preemptively set up a redstone lamp, which probably, you know what, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, we could probably put the redstone lamp here. And then it would probably be fine there. And then we could run some complicated redstone line back here. Hi there. Good to know you guys can still spawn. And then we could do something like this, where we run this backwards to that. And then we could probably have an on and off switch here. Or maybe even over here on the side. Oh, that would be nice. Let's do that. Let's do that. Lever. Let's get some more redstone torches, because I'll need it. Let's get some redstone. Maybe a repeater. Okay. So theoretically, let's say we have an on and off switch here, which we could probably do an on and off switch there, honestly. And then we could probably run it down to here. Flynn tries his hand at redstone. Who would have guessed that? I don't even know if this is going to work. I don't do redstone. It's one thing I definitely don't do. So now if I put one here, like that, and now if I flick, no. Now what if I did something like that? No. I know in theory it's supposed to work. What if I did something like that? No. I know what I'm trying to do, but I don't know how to do it. Okay. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay, beautiful. Now I just need to get it up there. And then I could probably do another one of these, eh? I'll turn that off, which doesn't do much, admittedly. Can I do a repeater? No, I could just do a block, right? Because it transfers through blocks. I could literally do that. Yeah! Let's go! Awesome. Alright, all of you, uh-oh. Well, that's not great. Oh, it's because it had a block above it? Huh. What if I did something like this, then? What if I just turned this torch over here and did something like that. Now, can I plug this up without it goofing out? No. Huh. It's kind of important. What if I get a slab? Can I get a slab? Yeah, I can do a slab. It just doesn't like the solid block. That's mob farm on, mob farm off. Okay. Well, mob farm off. Mob farm off. Mob farm on. Okay. Now, let's get our dirt. We're not going to be placing anything just yet, because that is a death sentence. But, yeah, we can at least get everything ready. Okay. Now, I want to test this out really quickly. Let's get it dark enough to where that shows, and then let's see how much that lights it up. That lights up everything in that room. That is absolutely what I wanted. So now let's go ahead and close this in. Okay. Let's get down. Awesome. Okay, so then we can click that on, and then it lights up most of it. I see. Okay. Let's get another redstone lamp on the far end. And then we can get another one going. Let's get a repeater, because I'll need one. And then we could probably just piggyback off of the system here. Like so. Okay, I forgot how I had that wired in. Okay. So then let's have a little bit of a off brand going that way. Let's pick that up. And then we could probably run it this way. Okay, so now if I ran it this way, right? Uh-oh. Good thing we got a jetpack. Block. And then repeater. So now you're on. And staying on. Oh no. Oh, it's because it's doing that. I see. So then if we do this... How does that work? That's not... Oh, it's the block itself. I see. Flynn learns about redstone. Nice. Okay. Alright. Learn something new every day, huh? Very cool. Alright, now we have a definite on and off system. Let's go ahead and get our wand out here, because I can't be bothered. Cool beans. Alright, now we have a way to actually turn on and off this mob farm. Before we get too invested in it, let's go outside and light up the top of that. Because it is actually already lit up. Okay, cool. Oh, hello. Oh, it actually copied that. I'm not really worried about that. We don't see it anyway. Okie doke. And then let's get everything cleared out. Remember, if you ain't using it, going in there. Okay. We've got this done and dusted. Now, what we could do is we could actually put 2 more if we wanted to. I don't think we want to, though. It'd be a lot neater. It'd be a lot nicer. We will do it while we're here. While we're here. It's going to be like a whole episode of me just building this. Oh, man. Okay, let's put one here. Which means we'll need to do that, that. Which means we should just be able to go straight across, eh? Because the signal comes out of the block. So if the signal comes out of the block itself, then we should just be able to just plump them down. And then block underneath. Repeater. Repeater. And then we should just be able to connect it up. And then if we do that, they all go off. Yeah, alright. That works with me. Dreadful Dart would go there. See, technically we could throw the Dreadful Dart in there right now, and it wouldn't do anything because we've got the lanterns on right now. I'm not going to chance it just because it is pretty dicey. Let's get some more tinted glass. So the tinted glass, if you don't know, is just coal and glass, and it makes really cool stuff. I had to make a ton of it doing this. So, yeah. This is what we are going to be using. Which I don't think we have enough to cover this whole door. I think we do. Yeah, we got enough. Right? 3, 6, 9. Yeah, we got enough. Alright. Before we get too far into this, what we're going to actually be doing now is we're going to put a magnet something. It's like a magnet limiter somewhere. I don't know exactly what it's called. Prevents items up to 5 blocks away from being attracted by magnets. Okay, that's not really the one that we're looking for. Quantum helmet. How's the quantum stuff looking? I mean, not terrible. Okay, let's just go ahead and just start making the components, right? Okay, let's make some iron spikes, which means we need a few blocks of iron. Now, this mob masher is going to be our way to kill the mobs and make it look like a 3 and a 1, 2, 3 and a 1, 2 and a 3. It's going to make it look like we actually killed the stuff ourselves, because the mob masher does actual player. Like when the mob masher kills stuff here, you can look at it. Can be enhanced with the mob masher upgrades. Mob bash do count as player kills. That's what I was trying to spit out. So, and that's all of our diamonds. Lovely. Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to put the mob masher right here. Now, I don't know if this is going to interfere with our redstone. It's not. Beautiful. Ow, okay. So, one thing to note with the good old mob masher here is it is very, very painful. With no upgrades whatsoever, it does a heart of damage. And that's even with our unbreaking and our projectile protection, which I don't think does anything anyways with what we have. So, I mean, it is what it is. Let's go ahead and recharge our jetpack. Now, once we fully upgrade this bad boy, we don't want to be anywhere near it at all, whatsoever. So if we ever go in here, we'll have to come through the side right here, and we'll have to use that to access everything. How long have we been recording? 35 minutes. Okay. Well, let's get some stuff rolling. Next thing we're going to do is try to get our collection system going. But before that, actually, yeah, before that, let's get the mob fans up and rolling. So, we need the mob fans because we are going to need to push stuff down. Now, some of these can climb the walls, so what we're going to do is we're just going to fly up, place this, and we're going to show the area that it pushes. Okay, now that on its own will be just fine, but we're going to need a ton of upgrades. So we're going to mob upgrade. So we will need some fan width modifiers. I don't think we'll need a height modifier. Yeah, we'll probably need height modifiers too. Distance, might as well. And then for the actual mob masher itself, we will need looting. We will need sharpness. Beheading would be pretty cool too, but beheading costs a lot of iron and gold. So we will see about that part. So cool beans, cool beans. Alrighty, right back. Got a phone call. Okay, I've been doing some things. So here's what we got so far. We got a advanced item collector. It's really easy to make. There's vendor obsidian, and then a basic collector, which is this ender pearl obsidian. Really easy to make. Are you serious? Why do you not work anymore? Is it because of the redstone block? It is because of the redstone block. Okay, so we're going to need to move things around. Okay, so first of all, give me those back. We're going to get rid of this for the time being. Let's move some things around, okay? So what we're going to do Alright, now let's see if we can pipe into the back of this one. Right? So that should technically be connected. Or not. Okay. Probably because it's not directly going into that. Like that. Okay. Now that's done. So now we got to figure out why it's not spitting it out at the others. Oh, okay. Probably because it's not like this. Bam. Hey, okay. Cool. So now we hit it, and now that we have the mob masher sitting right exactly here, it shouldn't do anything with that. Cool beans. Alright, let's go ahead and pick up the cobble we're not using. fill in our dirt here. Okey-doke. Now, we're back working again, thankfully. This can go down, and then show that. So we'll go down one, over one. I actually don't need to. We can go down another. And that should be plenty. Alright. Now, we'll go ahead and we will work on the next step. So if you can look in my inventory here, I have a little thing here. And so we need some chickens. In particular, we need some feathers. Now, in order to get feathers, I really, really want some chicken seeds, just so we can get some feathers generating in the background. Now, in order to get that, we need, unfortunately, some soul jars, which apparently you cannot craft. Another call. Okay, now, here we go. I made a big old platform. We're going to be doing the Gateway of the Emerald Grove, purely because it is going to give us a few animals. And I do want the, whatever they're called, chickens. Now, are we able to get a mob imprisonment? So it probably needs a gas tier, right? All in plastic. Plastic. What about a catcher? What about a mob catcher? Mob cage? Can we do a cage? No? Oh well. That's alright. Alright, here we go. I don't really know what to expect here, so. Zombies, okay. Spiders. Oh, hello. I think we got a jetpack. What do we get? Oh, we're getting quite a bit of stuff. Nice. Okay. Helps a lot when the mobs are, you know, on fire. Okay, I think that's the boss. Yeah, that's the boss. We can wait for the other zombies to kind of go away. Alright, here we go. Alright, cool. There are our animals. Alright, good stuff. Now, I want to make a chicken farm. Either that, or just kind of figure out what to do. We got a bunch of saplings in that. Some potatoes, carrots. That was a pretty good one to do. So, as for the chickens, yeah, we can figure out something to do there. Because we'll need a lot of feathers. Yeah, okay. So next time what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making a chicken farm and farming up a ton of feathers. So we'll see y'all next time.